The giant sequoias are just so much older than anyone on this planet. And it is so humbling to be walking among them and you walk up to them and you just look up and you can't see the top of it from at the base of the tree because they're just so massive. And it's insane that something can grow to be that big, and they've seen so much happen, and they're all being wiped out in such a short amount of time.
Southern Sierra it's also a place that's really, it's really special to me. This is my home, and it's been hard to watch the changes. It's been hard to watch how fire has impacted this landscape in a negative way over the past few years.
What led us to this place where we're at now in California, unfortunately, was a series of really bad wildfires, really destructive wildfires.
Fires existed on this landscape, but the fires that we've been seeing in the last 5 to 10 years they're outside of the natural range of variation, meaning that historically we didn't see fires like this, and it's not a part of the natural fire cycle that would be occurring in this landscape.
Widespread tree mortality in California has largely occurred because of large catastrophic wildfires that have occurred throughout the state in the last 5 to 10 years. There are other factors that play into this as well, related to climate change, drought, and the effects of insects and other diseases.
In the Southern Sierra, American Forest has been working closely with multiple land-based partners, including the Sequoia National Forest, Mountain Home Demonstration State Forest, and Tule River Tribe to reforest and recover high-priority areas that have been burned by wildfires, with the overall goal of reestablishing a forest that's going to be resilient in a future with a changing climate. That's the goal. That's what we want.
Having to come back in and do a lot of artificial regeneration by hand has been really crucial to seeing these forests thrive again.
The work that we've been doing out here in the rough fire scar in the Hume Lake district of the Sequoia National Forest, we've been doing some planting, which concluded last month, which is very exciting. And then now we're doing the manual release on the seedlings.
The Reforestation Pipeline Partnership is a collective conversation with the Forest Service, CAL FIRE, and all of its industry, tribal, nonprofit, contracting partners to be able to look at reforestation through the lens of a collective problem and thus a collective solution.
So the creation of the partnership was to generate a resurgence of capacity, essentially. It's time to train up the next generation and get the agencies and the public seed banks back to filled with seed and filled with knowledge to carry this work forward into the future.
With American Forest bringing together the cooperative, it's allowing various professionals at different levels, as well as lay people and other interested parties, to share their experiences, their successes, their challenges, and to build together. And if we're really going to see any major improvements in this regard, we're going to need to routinely bring our experience together to see any real noticeable change.
Today was the first ever cone camp that we have collectively put together with a partnership between the Forest Service, CAL FIRE, and American Forests. And the intention here was not only to build a better workforce of people who have the skills to look for cones and collect them, but also just to build general knowledge and awareness around this whole reforestation renaissance for California. And I love that term, because I think it really speaks to what is going on lately in the reforestation space.
Our main goal for Cone Camp this year is to increase the number of people across the state who are surveying and monitoring for viable cone.
Cone Camp is something that is now probably taking the place of what used to be institutional knowledge by land managers and foresters and people that work these lands.
This opportunity for peer exchange is invaluable. It's one generation passing its expertise on to the next and putting it into practice in place.
ConeCore is American Forest's solution to the deficit in workforce. So it's meant to develop and provide training to up-and-coming individuals who want to get into forestry. But for me, it's more of a hub of just wisdom and innovation coming in from all of these angles, which is really exciting. And yeah, it just fosters a lot of the up-and-coming community, I guess, in forestry.
In my capacity as reforestation coordinator, I've had the opportunity to plant or oversee the planting of 286,000 trees across 3 different wildfire burn scars, which has been a really cool opportunity.
The work that we're doing to reforest and recover these landscapes is really important for ecosystem restoration. We're helping to restore habitat for wildlife. We're helping to improve watersheds, and we're sequestering carbon to help fight climate change. And additionally, we're helping to restore some of these beautiful areas to continue that draw for tourists to come in and spend dollars in small rural communities.
What's happening in California is reflective of what's happening elsewhere as the climate warms and we see an increase in pests, drought, wildfire. We have to adapt to this living system that's giving us feedback if we're going to see, vital, healthy forests well into the future.
Society needs forests, and we need to figure out how to perpetuate them through a changing climate and through future time spans where we really don't know what the next problem is going to be. But if we don't have seeds and we don't have nursery capacity and we don't have people that know how to do that, we're not going to be able to respond to future issues with our forests. And that's really the most critical, important part of forestry and reforestation, in my opinion.
This is the moment in time. Uncertainty and rapid change, gonna happen, 110%. Our ability to collectively adapt and flex our solutions to the scale of the problems is going to be what makes us or breaks us. And the only way we can do that is together. And so convening difficult discussions and surrounding ourselves with people that have different viewpoints about forestry is the only way to be able to actually mediate or massage and come out with results that are going to make a difference.